Hello everyone and welcome back to yet another video on financial management. Today in this video we'll be doing numericals on ratio analysis. So again I want your register and pen handy with you, your calculators, so that you can solve the numerical with me for better understanding. So now I'll be sharing my PPT with you all, right? So keep everything ready. Okay. So the first problem is wherein you're given a balance sheet, right? And you're required to calculate current ratio, quick ratio, inventory to working capital, the debt equity ratio, proprietary, capital gearing, and current assets to fixed assets. Now, in last videos, we have studied about different formulas of ratio analysis, right? So now we'll be working on it. So we'll start with current ratio. Now, the formula for current ratio is current assets divided by current liabilities. Now, the very first task for you all is to identify current assets from the asset side of liability. So, current assets are assets which can be converted into cash within a year. So, what are current assets then? Current assets are cash at bank, bills receivable, sundry debtors, and stock. These are current assets. And what are current liabilities? The same, which are payable within a year. So current liabilities are bills payable and sundry creditors, right? You have to add up all this. So you get current assets as 3,50,000 and current liabilities as 1,50,000. So ratio is, you have to divide it. So ratio is 2.33 is to 1. So the main task over here is identifying your current assets and current liabilities, right? Now, the next formula is quick ratio, wherein the formula is liquid assets upon liquid liabilities. Now, you remember what I've told you, the formula of liquid assets, right? So, from liquid assets, you will remove the stock. The stock is removed, the remaining is liquid assets. So, if you remove stock, liquid asset could be sundry debtors, bill receivable, and cash at bank. It comes out to 1,50,000, and our current assets, as it is, you have to take as 1,50,000. The ratio is 1 is to 1. So only current assets you have to take, remove the stock inventory from it, you get liquid assets. Now next, third is your inventory to working capital. The question itself has the answer. Inventory to working capital. So inventory divided by working capital. Inventory means stock. It's given 2 lakhs, right? And divided by working capital. Now, what is working capital? It is current assets minus current liabilities. You get working capital. I've given it there in a bracket for your understanding. So, current assets minus current liabilities, you get working capital as 2 lakhs, right? Put in the formula, the ratio is 1 is to 1. The next is debt to equity ratio. All long-term debts divided by equity. So what are the long-term debts you can see here? It's like 12% debentures, you can see a long-term debt, right? And equity shareholders, you can see here as share capital, profit and loss is also added, and general reserve is also added in share capital in equity, because it is a part of equity shareholders, because that profit that is retained and general reserve that is retained, somehow or the other it belongs to equity shareholders, so therefore it is added. So the how will it go? It will be like 4,20,000 divided by 2,70,000. Okay, ignore the next one. You have to consider this formula only. Long term debt divided by shareholders. The ratio comes out to be 1.56 is to 1. Okay. Now, the next is proprietary ratio. Now, proprietary ratio, the formula is shareholders funds. Now, shareholders funds means equity plus reserves plus profit and loss. So, it comes out to be 2,70,000, and total of asset side, that is 8,40,000. The ratio comes out to be 0.32 is to 1. Now, the next is capital gearing ratio. The formula is fixed interest bearing securities. All fixed interest bearing securities means those securities wherein you have to pay interest fixed. What are those? Debentures, loans, right? And divided by equity shareholders. pure equity shareholders. So it comes out to be 4,20,000, that is debentures, divided by equity shareholders 2 lakh. The formula is 2.1:1. You have to take pure equity, you'll not add over here anything, right? Because here you are calculating gearing, okay, that how much is your capital structure geared. So how much is your fixed interest bearing securities in proportion to your equity, right? Now, the next is current assets to fixed assets. Very simple. Current asset divided by fixed assets. Take all the current assets we have already calculated in the first formula, divided by all the fixed assets, that is land and building and plant and machinery are your fixed assets. So 3,50,000 divided by 1,40,000. So it comes out to be 4,90,000. Divide, you get 0.71. So you get the. So here everything is about formulas, right? If you know the formulas, the numerical is very, very simple. So I told you that when I was teaching formulas to you, that you have to remember the formulas if you want to solve a ratio analysis. Okay. So the next numerical is from the following particulars found in a trading P&L account of a company, work out the operation ratio of the business concern. You only ask calculate operating ratio, right? So this is the information given to you. Your trading account is given to you, P&L account is given to you. Now first find out what is required in the ratio. What is the formula? So the formula of operating ratio is cost of goods sold and other operating expenses divided by net sales. Okay, so operating expenses are like, you have to pick it up from your accounts given to you, right? So first we'll calculate this cost of goods sold. Now cost of goods sold, the formula is this: sales minus gross profit. Simple formula. Here in this, the working note is given very long, but ignore that. I'll give you a shortcut. The formula is cost of goods sold is sales minus GP. Now, sales and GP, both you will get in trading account. See, sales is 10,000 and GP is 2,500. You get 7,500 is your cost of goods sold received. Now, how to calculate operating expenses? You add all the expenses given in your P&L, like administrative, selling and distribution, and finance expenses. So it comes out to be 2,000. So 7,500 plus 2,000, you get your numerator. Divided by net sales. Net sales is again given in your trading account. It is 10,000. Divided by 10,000 into 100, you get your operating ratio. So if you know the formula, you know what you want. Like in the formula of operating ratio, you know you need cost of goods sold and other operating expenses. Then you should know the formula of cost of goods sold. You know which are operating expenses. Okay, so this is how you have to solve. Let's move on to third. From the following balance sheet and additional information required to calculate return on total resources, return on capital employed, and return on shareholders fund. Okay, let's calculate it one after the another. We are given the balance sheet here and we are supposed to calculate these three ratios. So let's move. Even the additional information is given to here that net operating profit before tax is 2,80,000 and income tax is 50%. And dividend declared amounts to 1,20,000. Okay, let's see how it goes. Now, first of all, you'll put up the formula. So first, return on total resources. So the formula is profit after tax upon total assets. Return means profit. Resources mean whatever resources you have applied in the business, like your assets. This is how you should remember the formula, a trick. So profit after tax, we know profit before tax, that is 2,80,000, and we know tax is 50%. So calculate 2,80,000 into 50%. What is it? 1,40,000 minus. So you get profit after tax. So you get 2,80,000 minus 1,40,000. You get 1,40,000 as your profit after tax, because 50% tax is deducted from 2,80,000. Total assets, you can see in the balance sheet, 13,60,000 into 100, you get the ratio. Simple. Now, return on capital employed. Whatever the capital is employed, the return on that. So here you want profit before tax and interest, right? Divided by all the capital employed. Now you know the profit is given to here, but you want profit before tax and interest. So before tax and interest, so what will how will you calculate the interest? It is 8% debenture, so 8% on 2 lakhs. This is how you get. So 8% on 2 lakhs, how much it is? You calculate it and you add it and you get the profit before interest and tax, and then divide by capital employed, the whole capital employed, that is share capital, your debentures, your reserves, everything. Okay, so you get it 12,000 as your capital employed. Now you into 100 you get the answer, right? Now return on shareholders funds. So profit after tax divided by shareholders fund. So again, profit after tax, deducting tax, this is how much you get, and total shareholders fund, it is 10 lakhs. So into 100, that is share capital plus reserves, 10 lakhs into 100, you get the profit, right? Okay, so now let's move on to the next numerical. Number 4, a company has a capital of rupees 10 lakhs. Its turnover is 3 times. The capital and the margin on sales is 6%. What is return on investment? Only one ratio are asked to calculate, return on investment. So information given to us, remember, capital is given to her and its turnover is 3 times the capital, and the margin on sales is 6%. Now first find out what is the formula of return rate of return on investment, right? We are supposed to calculate return on investment. Formula is gross profit divided by investment into 100. So here our capital turnover ratio we have to calculate. So first we need to find out sales, that how much is sales. So with the help of capital turnover ratio given to you as 3, we'll calculate a sales. We'll go vice versa. With the help of ratio, we'll calculate the sales. So we know capital turnover ratio is 3 is equal to sales divided by capital. We know capital 10 lakhs is given. We know turnover ratio 3 is given. So we can calculate sales. So sales comes out to be 30 lakhs. Now that we can put up in uh, the formula, because we know that the margin that and the margin on sales is 6%, right? So we know this. So on that basis we can calculate. Now you have to find out gross profit. You are given that the ratios margin gross profit is 6% on sales. So calculate on that basis. So 6% of 30 lakhs sales we have calculated 1,80,000. So you get a GP as 1,80,000. You put up in the formula 1,80,000 divided by 10 lakhs is your investment. Capital into 100. So you get your rate of return on investment. Now now for this particular ratio, you have calculated two things. First, you have calculated sales with the help of capital turnover ratio. Then with the help of sales, you calculated gross profit. Why? Because it was given 6%. So you have calculated GP and then you have put up in this formula, rate of return formula, and then you got it as 18%, right? This is how you have to move. So first find out in the main formula what is required, and then you calculate those things accordingly, right? Now, this is the main numerical. We'll do it. I want you all to do it nicely because a lot of ratios are covered in this numerical. Let's do it. The following is a summarized profit and loss account for the year ending 31st March 13 and the balance sheet on that date. So this is given your P&L account, trading account, and balance sheet is given. All the information is given to you here, right? Now you are asked to calculate these ratios, right? So even additional information is given to you like average debtors, credit purchased, credit sales is given to you. So now these ratios, we have these 10 ratios we have to calculate. So we'll calculate them one by one. Okay, the very first one, stock turnover ratio. Okay, what is the formula of stock turnover ratio? Cost of goods sold divided by average stock. Now you know what is formula of cost of goods sold? Sales minus GP. So you'll pick up sales as 1 lakh from your trading account and gross profit is 50,000 from a trading account. So it comes out to be 1 lakh minus 50,000. 50,000 is your uh, cost of goods sold divided by average stock, means opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. That also you'll get from your trading account, and it comes out to be 12,500. So your stock turnover ratio is 4 times. Okay, the next is debtors turnover ratio. It is credit sales, as I told you, debtors are connected to sales always. So credit sales divided by average debtors. Now both is given to you in the additional information. See, creditors, credit sales, and debtors. You have to just pick it up and put in the formula. It's that simple. You get it 6.4 times. Now, credit turnover ratio, creditors turnover ratio, now your purchase will be involved. So credit purchase divided by average accounts payable. Now credit purchase is again given to you in the numerical already. 20,000. And how will you calculate average accounts payable, creditors plus bills payable? So you get it one time. You'll get this in your balance sheet, right? So the ratio is one time. Because you just should know the formulas. Rest becomes very simple, right? Now, the next ratio is the working capital turnover ratio. The formula is sales divided by working capital. Sales you will get in your trading account. Working capital, I told you in the last numerical, it is current assets minus current liabilities. So you get working capital, calculate, you have to identify all the current assets and all the current liabilities from your balance sheet and deduct it, you will get working capital. You put up in the formula, it is 1 lakh divided by 20,000 comes out your working capital. Answer is 5 times, right? Now, sales to capital employed. The formula is itself explanatory. Sales divided by capital employed. Now, sales is you'll see from the trading account, and capital employed you'll get it from the balance sheet. So, capital employed means complete capital employed, equity, P&L, reserves, debentures, loans, everything you pick it up. Now, what is given here? Here in the balance sheet, only share capital is given here and P&L is given here. So, we'll pick up both. If there were debentures also, you would have picked up that also. If there was loan, you have taken that also. Complete capital employed, right? But here net is not given, so you'll pick up what is given. That is 1 lakh plus 20,000. You'll put up in the formula and you'll calculate as 0.83 is to 1. You get your sales to capital employed ratio, right? Now, returns on shareholders fund. Returns means profit, of course, and shareholders funds means only equity plus P&L plus reserves. So net profit you will get it from your P&L account. Shareholders funds you will get it from your balance sheet. Into 100 you get 16.67%, right? Just by heart the formulas. Ratio analysis becomes very simple in coding. Now, GP ratio, gross profit ratio is very simple. Gross profit divided by sales into 100. To pick it up, gross profit from your trading account given, sales from trading account into 100, you get 50% as your gross profit ratio. The next is net profit ratio. The formula is net profit divided by sales into 100. Net profit, you will get it in your P&L account. Sales from trading account. The division sign is missing over there. So there's a division sign into 100. The answer is 20%, right? The next ratio is earning per share, EPS, right? So earning per share means earning per share to equity shareholders out of the profit remaining. So net profit divided by number of equity shares. Now we how to calculate number of equity shares? Go in the balance sheet. It is given clearly. Share capital is 1 lakh and each share is of 10 rupees each. Divided, you get number of equity shares. So 1 lakh divided by 10. How much number of equity shares you get? Yes, you get number of equity. Sorry, 1 second. You get number of equity shares and you divided 10,000 and divided by net profit 20,000, you get it rupees 2 as earning per share to each equity shareholder. The last ratio in this numerical is operating ratio. The formula is, we have done it in the last numerical, remember, cost of goods sold plus operating expenses divided by sales. So cost of goods sold, sales minus gross profit plus all the operating expenses from P&L account divided by sales into 100. The operating ratio is coming out to be 77%. Why am I taking this fast? Because already I have taken this operating ratio separate numerical above. So you should know how to do it now, right? So identify operating expenses, identify current assets, current liabilities. You should know how to identify and interpret your profit and loss account, trading account, and balance sheet. That is about ratio analysis. That you should know how to pick these items, right? So regular practice will make it very easy and simple for you to understand and pick for you. Okay, so this is all about ratio analysis. Practice more numericals given in your textbook. If any doubt, I'm always there. You can ask your queries and see you all in the next video. So I hope you all are like watching videos and doing numericals and practicing them thoroughly, because as I've told you that you have to practice accounts. So financial management is also about like practicing. You have to, otherwise you will never understand, because in the examination, because you'll have to do it on your own. So if you don't practice, your hands won't work. You should practice on calculator. You should be used to your calculator, right? So all these things are very important. So do practice. Try out the same numericals I'm teaching you. You can also try out new numericals given in your textbook. And if you have a doubt, you can come to me anytime. Till then, bye. See you in the next video.